NFL honors.
But
Let me get the full list of the awards that actually matter.
hmm
Here you go. Comeback Player of the Year. Who's your comeback player of the year?
Saquon.
Saquon. Gene. Well, yeah, I'd say Saquon. I feel like you can't really count if they just didn't play good last year. Like
I
it's
think
you have
it's
to be
got to be a
injured and come
comeback.
back.
I think Dak could make an argument, but I think Saquon had the best comeback from injury, like that story. I think Saquon
I'll
is
go
the
with
guy.
Saquon as well. Defensive Rookie of the Year. There's only two options.
That's really good. I don't know. I don't know my pick. What's your pick?
Sauce Gardner. It's Sauce. It's absolutely
Yeah,
Sauce.
right. Yeah, I agree.
It's him or Tariq Woolen, but it's
hmm
Sauce. It's 100% gonna be Sauce.
Yeah,
Like it's his name. It's 100% gonna be Ahmad Sauce Gardner, and I'm so
yeah.
happy a Cincinnati player is gonna be winning Defensive Rookie of the Year, and who was my number one defensive player last year coming out of the draft was Sauce Gardner.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I would feel real good about that one.
Yeah.
Offensive Rookie of the Year. Who you thinking? This is a little
Offensive rookie of
harder.
the year?
This is a little harder.
Yeah. I think it's Brock Purdy.
You
I
can't.
that
He doesn't have the amount of games needed. That's
he's
the.
no he's a finalist. He's been submitted as a finalist.
I thought it has to be at least 10 games in the NFL season.
He played 10 games. If
No,
you
he didn't. He
include the
played.
playoffs.
No. It's only.
Yeah, it's on. Yeah, no, I think he played 10 games.
I mean,
He
if
was
they.
he's on the list of submitted
Yeah. No.
applicants.
No. He's a finalist. Yeah.
I think you gotta go with him because like their season was over, and then he came in and saved it.
I'm sorry. I
Like,
thought. I thought I read a report that he wasn't
the,
eligible because you had to have at
yeah,
least 10 games.
I think he was there. I think he was at that. But I mean, you could go Kenneth Walker, but like he didn't have that great of it. Maybe Garrett Wilson, but like I really like Brock Purdy this
It's
season.
Brock
Like he
Purdy.
had a
It's
great
Brock
season.
Purdy.
Yeah, I think it's Brock Purdy.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I know. I was gonna go Kenneth Walker from Seattle
He had a
because
great season.
it's
I just
Brock
think
Purdy though. Yeah.
I think it's got to be Brock
I,
Purdy.
I I read a report that you had to have at least 10 games in the regular season,
I
and he
mean,
didn't play
also Aiden
10.
Hutchinson could have very well win defensive rookie. I forgot about him,
They didn't make the playoffs.
but it's got to be Sauce. It's got to be
He,
Sauce.
he did.
You're right.
Yes, the Jets didn't make the playoffs, but Sauce Gardner was like everywhere over his social media, and
Mhm.
like 100% he's gonna get the votes.
Yeah.
Oh crap! I just closed the page. Let me go back to it. Rookie of the year in general. Who's the rookie of the year? It's Brock Purdy. It's Brock Purdy.
Yeah,
It's
I
Brock
think
Purdy.
I think it's quarterbacks run
Yep.
those rewards, and he had too good of a season to ignore,
He had too good of a
which is
season
crazy.
on top of being the
It's
Mr.
crazy.
Irrelevant.
Yep. Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, he was Mr. Irrelevant. He was the very last
Yeah, he
pick.
was Mr. Irrelevant. Oh yeah, he was Mr. Irrelevant. You're right.
Yeah, he is winning NFL Rookie of the Year. If he doesn't win Offensive Rookie, it's Rookie of the Year.
Yeah,
So,
there wasn't crazy like rookies this year that had like amazing seasons.
yeah,
Like there was a few that had really good seasons, but there wasn't like that one in previous seasons that was like, oh yeah, he's a shoe in.
yeah. Uh,
So I think Brock can win it.
Defensive Player of the Year.
I think just because of recency bias and because a lot of people are real big on the Chiefs now, I think Chris Jones wins it.
Really? You think Chris Jones is going to win Defensive Player of the Year? That's.
Either him or Nick Bosa. Those are my two picks, but
I,
I think Chris Jones wins it.
I'm about to say, I think it's Nick Bosa. I think it's Nick Bosa. Um, he had led the league in sacks. They made it to the NFC Championship game. Uh, he's I don't know. I think it's gonna be him. I think it's gonna be him.
It could very well be him. I think the better story or like the more look at Chris, like he had a great, I mean he had 13 stacks. That's nothing to like cough at. Like that's a really good
Who? Chris
like season
Jones?
per se. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, he had a good
And
season.
he had a really good season. So I think it'll be a close vote. I wouldn't be surprised if Nick Bosa wins. My pick is Chris Jones though. I think he'll win it.
Yeah. Offensive Player of the Year. Who's your Offensive Player of the Year? I know who mine is. I actually wonder who you think yours is.
Mine's Justin Jefferson.
Okay, yeah, we
Like,
agree. We agree. We agree. It's Jay
that's
Jettas.
just
It's Jay
like,
Jettas.
like
Let me get his official stats. I want to get his official stats. Insane year. 1,800 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 128 catches.
he was 200 yards away from breaking the all-time record.
Yeah, and like
Alvin has 19.
he was the
Like,
Vikings
yeah,
offense. He was their offense.
he's the reason they made the playoffs.
Yeah.
100%.
No, I'm all for Jay Jettas. I think sadly it's gonna go to a quarterback. I know it's gonna happen, but he deserves. I think I would vote for him to.
Jalen Hurts is probably going to win it if I had to pick like an offensive player, just because Patrick Mahomes is probably going to win the MVP.
Yeah.
That's probably and I mean, sorry to spoil everyone's heart. It's probably just what's going to happen. So I think Jalen Hurts might win that award, but I wouldn't be surprised if Justin Jefferson, just because he's a well-known name, he had a crazy season. Like, I wouldn't be surprised.
I agree. I think it's gonna be Patrick
Tom
Mahomes.
Brady isn't a finalist.
No, dude, he's not a finalist. I'm telling you, man.
What kind of bull crap is that?
I th- I think it's gonna be a quarterback who wins Offensive Player of the Year, but my vote is Justin Jefferson. But my vote for MVP is also Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, we're doing MVP now.
Okay, who's
I
MVP?
think Patrick Mahomes will win. I think Patrick Mahomes will win. Tom Brady should win that award, though.
Dude, without a top
If we're
receiver,
talking most valuable,
without a top wide receiver, he put up historic numbers. Most yards by a quarterback.
okay, he had
Ever.
Travis Kelsey. I don't want to hear it. He had Travis Kelsey. I don't want to hear it.
With no
Tom Brady
wide,
did
with
that
no
more than
wide
you.
receiver, no run
He had
game.
pictures. It's fine.
With barely a run game. Isaiah Pacheco's good, but without a top run game.
Okay.
Without a Pro Bowl wide receiver.
Patrick Mahomes is gonna win like 10 MVPs. He doesn't need this
Without a-
one. Give it to Tom Brady.
Without a Pro
I'm out the
Bowl,
door.
without a Pro Bowl wide receiver or an All Pro wide receiver, without a Pro Bowl running back or a Pro Bowl wide receiver or All Pro.
Okay, well, since he's not even a finalist, out of the 5 finalists that I see here,
It's Mahomes.
it's Mahomes. Yeah, it's Mahomes.
Yes, I'm all for giving him Travis Kelsey. I'm all for it. Like amazing.
Yeah.
No Pro Bowl or All Pro wide
Out
receiver.
of this list,
no
I think
Pro
Joe
Bowl or
Burrow
All-Pro
had it.
running back.
I think Joe Burrow had very competitive arguments up until like the last 3 weeks.
I agree.
And then Patrick just solidified. Like Justin Jefferson would have had to break the record to win it.
Yep.
And then I think he would have won it. If he broke the record,
Oh, 100%.
I think he's the wide receiver that could have done it.
If he
Just
cracked
because of who the
2,000
quarterback
yards,
was.
if he cracked 2,000 yards, he's winning
I think that's the only
MVP.
way. Yeah, I think that's if he passes Calvin Johnson in yards, I think that's just where like holy crap, like
Well,
that's
isn't
that's
that basically
crazy.
hitting 2,000?
Yeah, I mean Calvin Johnson's is like 1967.
No.
Who's
You said
winning it?
single. It's Calvin Johnson, 1964.
Yeah.
Dude,
Was I on?
Cooper Kupp was 20 yards away.
Wait, but hold on. Was I directly on Calvin Johnson's?
I think you were one number off. I think you were very.
Oh my god.
That's insanely. You were insanely accurate though, dude. Cooper Kupp
Yeah, that's right. Cooper Kupp
was
did happen.
17 yards.
Yep. You know who's quarterback? This is my argument of why
Wow.
Matthew Stafford should make the Hall of Fame. You know who the quarterback for both of those
Calvin
wide
Johnson and
receivers was?
Cooper Kupp. Matthew
Yeah,
Stafford.
was Matt Stafford.
Dude, I didn't realize he was that close. 17 yards off. Wow. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. Yep.
That's crazier than Justin Jefferson this year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. I didn't know he was that close.
I don't think he could have won though because of Stafford. I think the reason Justin Jefferson could have won that was because of Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
That's why Justin Jefferson
Stafford's a Hall
won
of
it.
Famer now. Because of that Super Bowl, Stafford's a Hall of Famer.
I think he's borderline. I think he becomes the new line of Eli Manning was.
Yeah.
Of whether you're in or not. Like, I think he's the line now. If he wins another or makes another deep play, I push he's a shoo-in. But like now, I think he's the line.
Who's why does my camera keep doing this? Who's your coach of the year?
Man, that's a tough one.
There's so many good coaches, man.
I want to look at the finalist here.
Bro, my camera.
I think the easy answer is Brian Dable because of what he did with the Giants. But I still think what Kyle Shanahan did with the 49ers is more impressive. he went to the AFC Championship with a third string quarterback.
One of what I think is more impressive than all that.
What?
Your second year going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, with Nick Sirianni.
I think
That's
I think Nick Sirianni can easily win.
yeah. They were the number one team in the like over.
They were almost undefeated. They were like
I
11 and
think
0.
I think you're right. I think Brian Dable is going to be the favorite in that, like the betting favorite, and then I think Nick Sirianni ends up could end up winning it.
I gotta get really close to my camera. Apparently, it keeps doing this every week. I think it's Nick Sirianni. I wouldn't be surprised with Brian Dable. I wouldn't be surprised. Yada yada yada. I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, Doug Peterson too. I mean, the
Yeah, Doug
finalists
Peterson.
here are like all of these finalists. I mean, Sean McDermott doesn't deserve to be a
No,
finalist.
get it. Get his butt out of there, bro. No.
But the other four, I wouldn't be disappointed with either one of them.
What's the fourth?
Like
Nick
any of them.
Sirianni, Brian Dable, Doug Peterson.
Yep.
What's the fourth?
Brian Dable, Sean McDermott is another one, but Doug Peterson, Kyle Shanahan, and Nick Sirianni.
I don't think Shanahan. I don't think Shanahan.
I don't think just because he's already been there.
Yeah.
Like he's already. I don't think he's won one, but like since he's already
a good coach, we know he's a good coach.
Good coach. He's a good coach. I don't think he wins. I think it's Brian Dable. I think it's Brian Dable, just because of New York.
Yeah,
I think Brian Dable wins it.
I think seriously, if any of those three win it, they deserve it. There's no arguments for me if any of those three win it.
I think Nick Sirianni would be, since they made the Super Bowl and since they were such a good season, he has a fighting chance. But just because of New York, I think Brian Dable.
In his second season as well.
With his first season though, he turned the Giants around like that. He made Daniel Jones look like a franchise quarterback. Like we can't dismiss what Brian Dable did.
Yeah, no matter what, I'm all for whoever wins if it's one of those three.
Yeah.
So.